There we go. Yes. There. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be painting a nice little Thatcher crest. And maybe along the way, tell you a little bit of history too. We're going to start with our piggy pink. We're going to have all the colors you need for this show flashed down below. So you see it's nice and bright, and it really does emulate passion, which is why we picked pink in the first place back in 2004. To start, I would definitely start with the Celtic Claddagh, down in loops. So the Celtic Claddagh, it's the hands. Besides just wanting to like wiggle right into those hands and just take a nice warm nap, it really emulates our mission statement. And I will never forget our mission statement because I had to say it in heels walking up and down Broadway. The House of Margaret Thatcher exists to be a faith-deepening, gift-illuminating sisterhood founded in courageous love. But afterwards, we went back to Clark. Oh, oops. I'm not allowed to tell you that. That's a secret. The only way you get to know what's actually secret about our initiation is if you get to marry a Thatcher. I'm looking at you, Churchill. You know my number. There is a tremendous amount of freedom on this canvas. It was actually one of our founders that first came up with that secret initiation ritual. Kylie Crossland, back in 2004, along with just founding the House of Margaret Thatcher. No small deed, if I may add. She was actually the first Chamberlain as we now know. Kylie Crossland also really established the harmony in the House of Margaret Thatcher. She, along with just taking puking kids to the hospital and freshmen who don't understand that you do need to eat vegetables, she'd go room to room and check on the girls in the house and check on their emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being. She really did lay the foundation for the future exec team members, the future leaders of the house, and she really did give our house the identity that we have. Some fierce iron ladies. Kylie Crossland would go from being Thatcher's Chamberlain to president to actually the first student body president of the King's College. You know our elections now? She did them first. She would go on to graduate in 2008, and she actually left during what Thatcher now calls their dark ages. As you can imagine, starting a house, there's a lot of growing pains. It's natural. As you can see, I tried to make some gray with my pink and green. I didn't. So we're gonna stick to pink. This was pinky pink. Oh, what's up? Hey!
I was looking for them.
I hope you find them.
Thank you.
And once you nice and finish that Celtic Claddagh, you can move on to the Huguenot cross. And the Huguenot cross stands for the love we get daily from Jesus. And right under the Huguenot cross is a little dove, and that shows the grace we get daily from Jesus. All right, and to really get the wings of that happy little dove that's flying away, but he's not flying anywhere bad. He's flying somewhere happy because he's just received grace. We're gonna take one of these things, teardrop shaped brush, and you're just gonna get a little bit of paint. We're just gonna, just let him fly. It's not hard. It's like walking for him. All right, and then once you have that nice dove sculpted out, you can move on to the phi. But a good person to represent the Huguenot cross and her phi is Sarah Ferrara. She described her as a fiery little Italian because she had an incredible amount of passion. Hey you, you know the story, you know the story. Sarah Ferrara, along with establishing the deep well within the house, she also, her freshman year, did a reverse initiation. Obviously, making a bunch of 18 to 20-something-year-old girls march around in high heels around the financial district doesn't always sit well. Or I guess it was Midtown back in the day. So she organized a reverse initiation, and with her fellow freshmen, they went door to door of the upperclassmen and saran wrapped the doors and covered them with Margaret Thatcher heads and things that said, "You've been Thatch slapped." Fiery little Italian. And then she would go on to that to be a Bible study leader her freshman year, and then from that to be helmsman. And as helmsman, she started Now, which is basically Thatcher's night to celebrate deep well, God, and our sisterhood with each other. Deep wells when you really just get into the mix, you just go deep, man. And you see the reality rather than the perception of things, which is hard. No one likes doing that, but it's good. and we do it. Bible study in Thatcher, it wasn't like institutionalized. It was something the exec team did, and it was another thing the exec team had to do. She basically organized them so upperclassmen in the house that weren't on exec would have a chance to lead, and just helped bridge the gap between the under and the upperclassmen. And there is no better way to do that than with Jesus and food, because we always have some food. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take a big old brush. Oh, there's the little devil, Winston. Oh. Happy accidents, happy Thatchers. So you're just gonna get a little wet and just kind of, and then you're just gonna take it and you're just gonna blend. Blend that pink and green. Pink means passion, and green means growth. And no one knows the growth of Margaret Thatcher unlike Lauren Christian. We know her. We love her. That woman has been in the house of Margaret Thatcher for a decade. Technically not completely, but we round up because she's been with us for so long. She started out as a freshman, then became a chamberlain, and then was a president, and then became our house advisor. So she has seen the changes, the moves, and the grooves of these girls for a long time. Before Lauren Christian was president, the house of Thatcher had the mentality that they were gonna lose, so why try? But then Lauren Christian came, and at fall retreat that year, she said, no, we're not saying that anymore. And they'd go on and throw on this epic drama comp performance of Chicago, completely choreographed and written by the girls in the house. We got first. And that was also the year we won reading comp, the first of many times. Sometimes in the middle of the painting, you just gotta shake. Get the wiggles out. Maybe play some September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Apparently, they weren't happy that they heard some houses were making study guides. We were making the study guides. So they talked to us and they were like, they were trying to figure out if that was like, would they break the rule? And then Lauren Christian stood up and she was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know we weren't allowed to study for this test. Oh my goodness, I love her. She worked with Andrea Lopez and they created associate positions. And the House of Margaret Thatcher was one of the first houses to make associate positions. We're talking Duchess of Divinity, Spiritual Life Coordinator. We threw in some fun names. We're creative girls. So ever since Lauren Christian came in and showed Thatcher how to do it, we have been a well-oiled machine, busting out competitions, but also not forgetting why we're here in the first place, which is iron love, our last core value. Here we are now in 2017, 13 years later, when Kylie first came in and laid our foundation. Sarah came in and just added the depth that we needed, establishing deep well, and then Lauren Christian coming in and raising us up to be the indomitable force we are today. And here we are, 13 years later, still doing those traditions that those 3 alumni put in place. And for the last part, remember what I said about the blending? You're gonna blend your brains out. Okay, ready? I need a Snickers. She knows what I need. Just make sure your brush is wet and then just blend. Blend. Big X's. And that is how you make the crest of Margaret Thatcher. Until next time, God bless and happy painting.